What's up guys, it's Frenzy, welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with Ocylix, castle level is 27. So we'll jump into it here. Alright, it looks like that was a fake. Oh, it wasn't. Interesting. That was a very long pull. Alright. So that was a pretty cool little combo you had. I guess I just didn't notice what room it was to see that this was going through the wall. That's good as well. I jumped right over there. I didn't notice that those mobs were over there before I leaped over, so I had to take extra damage from the trap. So I like that as well. Alright. I can't believe that missed. Well, I can, but it's frustrating that it missed. I feel like this guy's just going to link to him regardless, so I'm going to have to kill the Defendatron before I deal with the Mega Mutton. I don't want him charging at me while I deal with this. Oh my god, that hit. Alright, well I'm taking way too much damage to this. I'm gonna have a lot of trouble getting through this castle with the potions that I have now. The Defendatron feels a little weird here, because I mean this doesn't have the most damage in this group to begin with. So I don't see why you would want to keep it alive. I mean, I guess you're trying to do kind of a time waster group with this, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to really work for me. Mainly because the Cyclopses are in charge. If they were on over the head smash thing, I would like the Defendatron a little bit more. Alright, that was a good group for me. I'm actually healing up a little bit here. Mainly because I didn't take any hits from the Mega Mutton. I like this group with you using Pinstrike to line up your archer shots. I think that's pretty good. I think it's more lined up for if I try to back away from this room. If you jump right into it, the Hungerbot will miss, and then after that it's pretty easy to dodge. But it's good concept. Alright, this should be something coming through the wall over there. Alright, so I'm wondering if maybe you can use this derp to block off that angle of shot that I had there, so that it's harder for me to get a headshot straight on this Defendatron. That'll just add a little bit more survivability to your Zeke. You know, like you had your Zeke who is guarded right here, and then you had a derp right in front of it, and then your Defendatron back here. I'm wondering if maybe you could put your derp like over in this area somewhere to block off that angle. Undead right here. Yeah. I waited too long to get that headshot off. So yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good castle for sustained damage. A lot of it has to do with your trap placement. I think it's really good. I am 2 levels under this castle, but I think probably up to around 27, 28 we'll still have a little bit of trouble. Probably 29s will start to make it a little bit more easily, based on potions, probably not as much about time. Time is just very difficult to beat these days. I like this group as well. Your double pull at least here. I'm gonna die again. I like the Scorpio plus Zeke on split shot combo, giving him the chance to hit with multiple bolts. I think that's pretty cool. This one's pretty weak to volley. You do have one explodifier here, so I guess that makes it a little bit better, because it does force me to kite a lot more. Like, this group in general just forces me to kite a ton. It's probably a little bit more annoying for knights to deal with as well, because they'll be getting charged down constantly while trying to deal with this explodifier if they don't deal with the, what do you call it, the battering rams first. And these guys aren't really annoying for archers to deal with, though they are doing a little bit of damage to me. More than I thought they would do. And then the boss room. I'm probably not going to be able to make it through this without dying. Yeah, there's like no way I'm going to make it through this without dying. So yeah, there hasn't been really anything that I could say that is bad with your castle. I think it's pretty good all around. Alright. But yeah, I think your castle should be doing pretty well against people your level, and maybe slightly above your level. So we'll jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, for number 2 we have MrDreist. Castle level is 24. Jump into it, see what he's got. Alright, so Time Waster to start it off. The only thing about having a Cyclops on charge with a time-wasting combo like this is once the Cyclops charges once, he won't ever charge again unless you get out of range of, like, significantly out of his range. They only charge from a certain distance, so when they're close they just go for auto attacks, basically. So that's something to think about. Maybe if you don't use them somewhere else in your castle to set up archers or something like that, you could switch it out for like over the head slam or something along those lines, and it might be a little bit better. Scorpios have significantly less hit points nowadays, so that's cool. It's a good thing I actually missed that Snotter, because I thought he was linked with this one, with this group. He wasn't. Alright. Double heal, it's pretty good if someone tries to DPS down the Mega Mutton like I did there. Like what I did is I DPS'd the Mega Mutton and I expected to see one healer and a Defendatron, in which case I would have kept hitting the Mega Mutton because I would have been able to slowly DPS him down. He would have sustained like maybe one or two heals. But whereas this, when I saw two healers, I knew I wasn't going to be able to kill the Mega Mutton first, so I just dropped a volley on this group. And that's what it's kind of weak to, is when you don't have a Defendatron, the healers will die a lot quicker, but have overall like more burst healing. If I didn't one-shot that guy, he would have hit me. He wouldn't have killed me because he was only level 22. But it's a mistake I normally don't make. But because he was enraged, it forced my mistake, I guess. That guy hurts. I should use more Pete Poundmores in my castle. I've stopped using them recently because I don't feel like they're that amazing against archers. They're still okay against knights, but archers can drop Caltrops and usually get away from them without taking any damage. Alright, I like this group. I like mainly the room that you pull back into. That's something that everyone needs to like consider when they're making a castle is you don't just think about the room that you're currently building, you think about what the previous room is as well, and how it's going to work if the person pulls back into that, because the majority of people will pull back one room. So you have to like understand how it's all going to work, and make your traps complement the previous room and the room, in case they like roll into it as well. The room that they're all standing in. I don't know if that made any sense, but yeah. Like this one, I would want this group to kind of complement maybe this trap or something like that, because you know you're going to be fighting in this zone here. I'm not going to run forward into this group if I'm playing it somewhat safe. So here, this actually does help and complement it. It's basically, I don't want to run past this because I have the risk of tripping this and, you know, getting knocked down. So I have to play in a more limited area against this Zeke that can shoot at me. I can't just like kite backwards, drop a volley and kite all the way backwards. Because if I do get hit by the mousetrap, then it's, you know, 3 free shots and I'll probably die, or at least have to use a potion. This one as well, I'd like to fight a little bit farther up, but I don't really want to fight next to the Ballista Trap, taking a bunch of extra damage against the Mega Mutton. So I kind of have to pull it back 2 zones rather than 1. Alright, so it looks like this is probably a lot more annoying for knights to deal with than for archers, I would have to say. Just gonna use a potion because I can. Because Knights will have a lot more trouble getting up next to these guys with these Scorpio and Hungerbot knocking them back constantly. So it's mainly just a time-wasting room, which should be pretty effective, especially against Knights. And I wasn't able to make it through on time. Probably could have, if I wasn't talking and concentrating on getting through. But all in all, it's a pretty good castle, I would say. I think I had one group that I... Like the first group, I think, with the Robo-Shieldatron and Cyclops, you could think about switching it out for over-the-head Cyclops or something like that, but it's not really the biggest deal in the world. So we'll jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, and lastly we have Switcher 7, castle levels of 30. He's got a challenge to boost me up to 29. Let's see if I can get through it. Alright, so these are both pretty good groups. The Mega Button's really standard. The other one is, you know, I don't really know much about how spiders are used because I don't do many level 30 castles. But obviously, like, they're just a good unit overall. I like the spiders a lot. It seems like this has a pretty good, like, grasp of both time wasting and dealing damage. Because me getting knocked down and then getting hit by that Cyclops would do 1,000 damage, and just getting knocked down with 2 different things that can stun you seems to do enough for time wasting as well. Now you can dodge the spiders by moving back as soon as they're about to jump, or moving to the side. But it's somewhat difficult because they do move pretty quickly. They don't have like the same charge up animation that Mega Muttons do. They do have one, but it's not quite the same. Alright, looks like that's a fake. That as well? No. I'm just kind of hoping there's more variety in this. I mean, this one has a smelly warrior, but there's other things that you could do as well. So there's 3 of these groups so far. I mean, it might not be bad for defending purposes itself. Just for actually dealing with, like, 10 groups that might be all the same or something. That would be kind of ridiculous. Alright. Alright, so he's got one of these with the Defendatron like that. I'm gonna have to pull back a little bit farther. And I guess get hooked. That's fine though. Alright. So far so good. This part's the only bad part about having that Defendatron like that, is it guarded the Snotter. I don't know if there's anything that you could do to change that. You know, I mean, I don't even know why you really need the Snotter there if you have the Defendatron out that far. I feel like you could just make it so that your Spider or something gets there a little bit quicker. Oh my god. Can't believe he didn't die. Alright. Alright, so I'm not doing too bad so far. I won't make it based on the time limit, although I don't know what the time limit is. It's going to be something around 7 minutes, I think. Oh wait, maybe I'll die right there. That was actually close. I think that this combo is actually really good. The Mega Mutton plus Spider, I think that's actually a really good combo. Probably not so much if I killed the Spider first, that's probably what I should have done. But the fact that I could get knocked down and then get trampled over as well, I think that would almost instant kill anyone if that combo happened. Alright, so I'm going to have to kill 2 groups here because of how this is all working. I like this Defendatron because it kind of forces me to hit 2 groups or pull super far backwards. And these 2 groups combo really well together. It's super annoying to get rid of. Okay, finally. Alright. The only problem is now this Mega Mutton. Well, actually, this Mega Mutton doesn't necessarily need to be this exposed, I feel like. But he kind of is. Alright, silence trap. I'm gonna just engage this with a headshot just to pull whatever's back there to see. Looks like there's nothing though. So this silence trap could be something else. I mean, there's no real point to it. Okay, well, I mean, I guess you would normally pull back to this point to fight this Mega Mutton because there's more space. So that's probably why that silence trap is there, now that I'm looking at it. And it looks like I pulled 2 groups. This, I guess, is your last room that you were talking about. I didn't notice until afterwards. It almost killed me right there. Yeah, I don't really think anyone would be able to actually stay there and fight this, especially if they pulled both groups. I mean, it's hard enough for me to actually engage this regardless. This is quite good, yeah. I'm struggling to actually just kill off the Defendatron to get rid of the healing, because the healing is a problem, and like it's so hard to actually engage that. That's interesting. I'll take a look at it more in depth once I get inside. I'll probably die again. So I'm not sure what happened. So I hit this derp over here, and I'm wondering if that somehow led back through into here somewhere. And then I thought it was a fake, so I engaged the next one. Either way, you get into this room, there's no way you can fight an IMAX and a Mega Mutton in here. Almost everyone will have to pull back. And then you have this silence trap which helps. I guess, I'm wondering if I could use these mines and these pillars to my advantage or something like that. Like, overall, it's pretty good. It's difficult to engage both of those groups. Now, if I engaged one after another, I think it would have been a lot easier for me. And then you have this group, which is also pulling. I would have to actually go up here if I wanted to not engage two groups again. Hopefully I can get lucky and kill off this Mega Mutton before heals come into play, if there is any. Looks like there's not. I'm gonna die right there, yeah. I messed up the timing on that. Yeah, this last room's brutal. When I remake my castle, I definitely have to start to use those Defendatron tactics, putting them in certain areas to force double pulls. Alright, then I think the boss room is next. We have a Count Snottingham in here with chickens. And yeah, you can see Snottingham does quite a bit of damage. Like, it's pretty surprising how much damage he does. You don't normally think that the pre-made bosses are any good, but Snottingham's one of the best. I think the dragon is probably the best, like the top boss that I think you have to have one of the higher packages, like whoever has the mage also has the level 32 boss or whatever, but can only be placed in level 32 castles, so I mean it's not the biggest deal in the world. And it'll all be unlocked eventually, I assume. But yeah, pretty good castle. I don't really think I saw anything that was really bad. There was that one point where I said your Mega Mutton was a little exposed. I'm not sure if you wanted it like that or what you wanted exactly, but you know, a level 30 with top gear might be able to kill him before he really gets his damage off. Other than that, it was a really good castle, and that last room is definitely brutal. So that is number 3, so I'll end the video here. If you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. If you want to be a part of viewercasts, you can email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. Comment on my video or comment on my castle. Give me your in-game name, and I will get to your castle whenever I have time. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.